Hello, I'm FX Toycat, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Today, I'm going to be chopping down some trees. I need some wood. I've got an axe, a pretty nice axe too. Look at this. Unbreaking, efficiency, got some sharpness on there too, in case something comes after me. And yeah, so today, I'm going to be chopping down some trees. Killing those trees, if you will, because you know what? Someone needs to do it. And also, just as a crazy aside, I've looked at this ender chest every day for probably a year or so now. It's probably been like 6 months. But I recently found that I had a Nether star in there. I don't know how many months it's been in there, but I had a Nether star this whole time. I just hadn't crafted into a beacon. So I feel like, you know what? For the first time ever, I don't believe in beacons. I mean, I believe they exist. I don't believe in using beacons. But I feel like today, you get, you're very pleased. You should be very pleased. Because we're finally going to be, after a long time of not, using a beacon as we chop down trees. Just because I'm kind of curious, actually, like haste plus the Netherite axe plus efficiency, which we didn't use previously. All those things combined should lead to a good time. You would hope, certainly. Anyway, so let's go on a little bit of a journey over this way to where the forest is. Because although chopping down these trees is important too. Actually, I don't think it is important to chop down these trees. And although I could totally chop down the trees in my little tree farm, I want to actually actively chop down a forest today because I found a nice plains biome, a really nice plains biome, that I, you know, along the route of my big blue ice boat pathway, and I wanted to show you that forest, and then I wanted to chop down the forest. I'm really happy with the forest, and so I want to chop it down. You know how it is on the internet, right? You know, you like something, so you got to chop it down. That's what a lot of people feel about a lot of things on the internet they love. Honestly, liking things on the internet just isn't cool anymore. And it's a real tragedy, right? Like, you know, it's so much easier to be like hating something or being like, oh, actually, here's the problem with that thing. But you know, I like destroying things, and you can't stop the internet, no matter what you think. Also, thank you to the mangled lass who says yes, use the beacon, and thank you to that guy Mason who says set up tour ? Wait, have they not shown up yet? Oh, they haven't. So set up tour. Honestly, I gave a setup tour when I moved into this house. I tried to give a setup tour every time I moved, just because people are curious, like, what do I use, etc. I'm not sure if I'll do one in Vegas, but I might just, if you're curious. Honestly, it depends how cool it looks, because it's going to look really janky. So, I guess I might just include it as part of the video or something. But yeah, there are so many, like, classic YouTube videos that people just don't really make as much anymore. And one of the, you know, like, some of those types are really bad. Like, man, Q&As, they're so bad, right? Side note, but Q&As are coming back. Q&As suck as a concept. Glad they're gone away. But like dual comms, you know, like let's just chat over some gameplay. Sad. Setup videos, what a fun little thing. All these videos have gone missing, and it is a tragedy. Let's just start flying, by the way. You know what? I was trying not to. I was trying to save the environment, but it can't be done anymore. So yeah, over here, you can see this is where the Xbox One world ends and the Bedrock world begins. You can tell very clearly. But then you can also see just a little bit ahead here, there's this really nice plains biome. Again, it's right underneath the pathway of the blue ice thing. And then just in front of that, you can see, oh, some scaffolding. I've been here before. You can see that there's a nice forest over here. And I want to chop down the forest so you can see the grass kind of blend from one to the other. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I have other good reasons for doing it that we can talk about in a second. After I say thank you, Resurrection. Here's my tax. Looking forward to exploring your map. I'm probably going to go grab a burger real quick. Don't have too much fun while I'm gone. Okay, guys, there is a limit on the fun we can have while Mr. Resurrection is gone. I'm just saying. Everyone hold your breath. Yeah, hold your breath. You know, that's a phrase people say. Hold your breath and wait for him to get back. Is everyone good with doing that? Okay, we are. So we're going to throw this in there. We're going to get a haste going because 20% extra speed. Lord knows we need that. I should have brought a hoe with me. Do you want to go back and get a hoe? We'll work on the hoe in a second. I mean, look how much faster I can punch with my fist, for instance. Why do I even need a hoe? I could ask. Anyway, so yeah, let's just chop down using, I guess we'll use the sword to chop down the tree leaves. No, I definitely want to use, okay, but look at this. Look at this. Look at this speed. We're going to get so much wood. And I need a lot of wood to get a lot of charcoal too as well. Because also I have a couple of projects in mind that are going to require some wood. And I'm just continuously burning through my wood, like very literally. So let's get a bunch of it today. Chop down some wood. Talk about, I don't know, the universe. Whatever it is we talk about on these streams. And it's going to be a lot of great. Can we breathe yet, Mr. Toy Cat? Says Cat Freaks. You know what? You have my permission. Also, exploiting your natural resources. I know quite a lot about that one, says Mother Russia. I feel like Russia as a country is like something that is wildly successful because it happened to be filled with gas at just the right time to be able to do its craziness, right? Like any other country in the same situation as Russia in 1919 collapses very quickly, but like Russia could keep like an entire union of countries too running just on the idea of like we have the oil exports, or it's actually gas, but like, you know, it's more fun to say oil because everyone gets oil. You know, give me your opinions on the Iraq war, chat. No, wait, don't really, because that's a terrible idea. But you get what I'm saying, right? People don't even need to be informed. Be like, yep, something about the oil. You know, that's why we invade countries, because that's how you get oil in 2020 or 2010 or 2003 or whatever it is. Opinion on Ethos Lab. Also, to get tax law. The Ethos Lab is a fun Minecraft block from that one Easter egg update. That's definitely what you were asking me about. Also, thank you, Mama. Good to see you here today. And also, Jack of all trades. Thank you, Cage Bender. Hello, Ticket Taxes Paid, and my first ever donor. Welcome to the donation club. Again, I like to call it a tip, not a donation, because the thing about donation, like, again, you can make more money using this, but I like to call it a tip because that's a more indicative term of what it is. Like, you can enjoy the thing for free, but if you really like it, give a thing. I feel like whereas a charity, you know, donations are like, oh yeah, this thing cannot function without your help. To me, there's a very, or like, I know it's a very emotive difference, but I prefer not to emotionally tug at people's heartstrings unless it's for fun, you know? And these live streams exist for the purpose of like, oh yeah, we're playing Minecraft, would do it some amount. You know, I streamed before there were tips, but since there have been tips, obviously, it means I can dedicate more of my time to streaming because I prefer being paid. You know, it's nice when you get paid for your time. That's something anyone who is employed probably can tell you. On the internet, it's a dirty concept. Like, ugh, can't believe you're not doing it purely for the passion. It's like, why can't it be both? Why can't I want to make money for my passion? It's such like a, to me, whenever people like say something like that, like, oh, you shouldn't expect to make money from something you love. Because that happens to a lot of like artists online. It's something that to me, because a lot of even artists will say that stuff. It's the sorts of people who are like living the perfectly sheltered lives where they don't need to financially care about themselves that can make those statements. It's the same with people who are like, oh yeah, we should also keep everything shut down for you know, like, who needs an economy anyway? What even is the economy? Like, and it's like, oh, you're not you know, someone else is the, you know, conduit between you and the economy, so you don't even know that it's useful to you. Like, why does the unemployment rate affect me? And it's like, oh, because, you know, if you had a job, you would like it to not go unemployed. It's like, it's something I've been thinking about a lot recently when it comes to like, there is a class of, not rich person, but like, if you're like rich adjacent, if you are a, you know, under the shelter, the wing of a person who has means, you can not even realize that it's like, a thing that people care about, right? And I find that wild, but also, like, you know, sometimes we think, like, wouldn't it be cool if you were born with rich parents? In the UK, where I live, you know, in London, one of the only ways you can realistically own a house is like, oh yeah, your parents die and they give you their house. That's how you get a house now. Is it a viable long-term system? Some would say no, but it's also like, oh yeah, I wish my parents could die and leave me a house. I think my parents' net worth is literally negative. Wow, that sure sucks. But I think there's something nice to be said about, you know, I feel like your life is set up different when you have parents that don't come from money. And I feel like there's a cool benefit to that way of like understanding why all these people keep thinking, why do they need their jobs? Like, aren't jobs boring? I don't understand why they keep going to it every day. You know, I tried a job once, but it was no fun. And it's like, wow, okay, that's a whole thing. And I agree with what you said, that you should settle to do something that is okay but pays you. If it's it's your only life anyway, so I'd spend half it doing something I don't like. Same Joe, I'll get back to that in a second. Also, thank you, Carl Pinstill. I don't like dobbing, if you mean snitching. And Jazzy Sport, I started mining a forest. Check my phone, see you doing the exact same thing. Great minds think alike. You know, no offense, Jazzy Sport, but both of our minds are not great, because chopping down a forest is you don't need to be smart to do that. You just need to be able to recognize that there is natural resources the forest has that you would like to take. But no, so MJ responded to, on Q&A Saturday, one of my, like, more controversial responses was, I said, someone asked, like, should you do what you love or should you do something that pays well? And most people always say, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And, you know, they'll tell you things like that. And I think you should find something you're good at and, you know, hopefully you should enjoy doing things that you're good at. But the problem I always have with the people who say, like, yeah, do what you love, do what you love above all else, is like, even if you make your job the best hours of your day, your job is 1/4 of your hours in a week. There's 128 hours? No, wait, there's 168 hours in a week. There's 40 hours of those worked. Maybe less if you're lucky, maybe. But, like, you know, that means 1/4 of your hours are spent at work. I would rather have a good 128 hours than a good 40 hours. If you had to pick between the two, and if you don't come from means, if you don't have, again, a family member who shields you from needing to know about how the economy works, whatever that is, if you're in that situation, then I would say that, like, yeah, you really do have to decide. You know, you might say it's a shame you don't get to have both. Like, why can't I enjoy my whole life? And it's like, well, you can enjoy your whole life, but you have to change. Like, to me, money makes things enjoyable. If you want to enjoy your whole life, you have to learn not to need money. But then you wouldn't ask the question, should I do a job that's well paid or not? Because if you don't need money, the payment for a job is so unnecessary. Also, you're going so fast, I'm not used to working so efficiently, says Chantal Exley. See, you're not. This is official testimonial about how good the Netherite axe is. I'm working so fast, I'm alarming my moderators. Think about that, friends. Think about that one, friends. Half your face cam is missing. The cam's off center. Is that better? Oh, I can see the microphone, the tiniest bit. I think it's because I was going like down there, right? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I just have to sit back here. Okay, we're good. So I need the charcoal to smelt 1,000 iron ore. It's crazy because 1,000 iron ore, which can take like 5-6 hours to find, probably a little less in most people's cases, but 1,000 iron ore takes 10 buckets of lava to smelt. They're like, to me, that's incredible. Maybe not for everyone else. Just don't move your head. Yeah, I've got to stop. I was really leaning in there. I've got to stop doing that. So I need a bed. How do I find a bed? I have one. Oh, there we go. Found my bed. I can kill the sheep. I'm just going to kill the sheep. There's a 50-50 chance I get the wool I need. Because you get 1 wool sometimes and 2 wool others, right? Okay, we got 1 wool both times. We'll just find another sheep somewhere on this plains biome. It's a big plains biome, so there should be one somewhere. And then we'll make a bed. And then we'll find some dye. And that'll also be great. Why do you need charcoal, says Mark Shortle. I need charcoal because I'm lighting up my entire world. There's a lot of projects that stack on projects in this world. And that is just one such example. Yeah, we're going to fly, and we're going to go back this way. It's going to be real nice. Because over here, I have an orange bed. Oh, actually, maybe I took the orange bed with me. I might have taken it with me. You know, I'm going to pray I didn't take my orange bed. Honestly, I probably left like a... Hey, the orange bed is here. So we'll just take the orange bed. And also these saplings with me as we go back home. You should make a wither skeleton farm for skulls and coal. Skulls and farm. Yeah, honestly, the amount of... Like, the fact that you can farm coal that way is kind of tempting me. Like, oh yeah, I hate having to... But then I just think, like, well, I could just use lava if I need a renewable fuel source. It's only for torches, and I'm only using this many torches once. Do an American accent, please, says Alex Schaefer. Well, you see, the problem with me doing my American accent is it tends to annoy a lot of the viewers. You see, they're from the United States of America, and over in America, they don't take kindly to making fun of their accents, because they got a lot of accents over in America, and, oh, I said America too wrong. America. In America, they have too many accents. I do not understand. Oh, I can't do it. Can't do a Russian accent today, but, you know, my life is sad. The thing y'all gotta understand about the United States of America is there's just too many accents to cover in the space of 10 seconds. So if I'm gonna be explaining exactly what's going on there, then you gotta understand that I'm gonna be offending a lot of Americans. A lot of Americans are gonna say, no, Tycat, why are you doing that? I don't understand. I really want to learn the New York accent. Like, I'm from New York. What you doing over here? But I can't ever do it properly. You sound like a Scottish dude in 37 different drugs. Honestly, the more people tell me they hate my American accents, the more I'm like, yeah, I'm doing something right. That's a sign it's going good. I am from America, and I do not upset enough people with this accent, but I go to airport, I fly very far, and I learn about all American accents. And the thing is they tell me about their American accents, but it is not okay. So I take it from them instead with my Kalishnikov 47. Yeah, I can't do it. I need to learn all the accents, all of them correctly. They say like as an eh. Stop asking about economic systems. Clearly isn't answering them. Yeah, a lot of people are like, hey, I'd love to hear you talk about my niche thingamajiggy. But especially like anything that's like highly political. Like, here's an interesting thing about the political world. Is if you talk about things that are already being widely discussed, you have to pick your opinion. And you usually pick your opinion because someone who's on your side of the political debate has told you what your opinion is. Like, oh yeah, we hate this thing, we hate that thing. Olimatic says, hello, good sir. I hear you've ordered one of my finest jokes. How many apples does it take to keep the doctorate? One if you throw it hard enough. Man, I always picture, I know I'm ruining your joke here, but I feel like if you throw an apple hard enough, it will just like break on impact, right? That's always been my impression about throwing apples. You could do Scotland easily, just get drunk first. You see, I can't do a Scottish accent no matter how hard I try. I'm just going to offend all the people and end up in Irish somehow. I don't know what happened here, but la-di-la-di-la-di. The thing about Singtown is there's a very rhyminess to the Irish accent. You've got to start to sing your words almost. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm sorry. You know, we went from high quality discussion about what you should do with the rest of your life to Toycat fails at 100 accents and offends everyone. It's really great. Indian accent time. The thing is, I can't ever do an intentional Indian accent. Like, it's offensive, so I'm probably gonna get in trouble. But like, I can't ever do an intentional Indian accent. It only happens by accident. Like, you see, I am in the New Delhi, and I really like it when you know, because the thing is that a lot of the places you know accents from, like I could do like an African accent, but I'm doing like their interpretation of English, right? Which I guess that's what accents usually are when it's from a foreign country. Like when it's accents in English, it's just weird things that have changed. Like in New Zealand, they've shifted the vowels, so an E is an I. Like if they say hell yes, they're like hell yes. I love this. I really do. I can't. What even was that? But like when it comes to other languages, like you know their accents because it's hard for them to learn certain sounds. German, you know how Germans, we stare at them and going, we are going to the park, and then when we get home, we are going to have good time, yeah. So like, it's because they found the th sound in English to be really hard, so they just do a Z instead. It's actually like an S sound, like, I am going to the park. Park is very, very smart, and then sen, and then, wait, and sen, V will, and then they find W's hard as well. I believe. Collar's so much easier to get and better, says Yeet Forever. You know, I'll yeet you forever. How about that? I am German, and yes, this sounds like many here trying to speak it, says Marcel Entertainment. See, exactly, right? Like, I've been to Germany many times, like, and honestly, actually, in my experience, like, because I only spoke to Germans who were, like, actively speaking to English speakers, it was mostly pretty fine. Here's the most like frustrating thing I had about Germany is like if I tried to speak German at people, they would just speak English right back at me, and it's like I'm trying to learn a language over here, and like learning language is dumb. I hate it. Like it's not. Some people love the thrill of their brain like rewiring into a new language. My brain doesn't do that. Pretend to be a roadman, please. I made you laugh, says Olimatic. I don't think I can pretend to be a roadman. Also, you know, how did roadman become like? Again, I believe it means like. It's kind of like, you know, like a chav, like, so, you know, like a criminal. I don't know for sure. Maybe I got that mixed up. But, me with Swedish. Right, the thing about Swedish is, like, it's a fun language to learn because it's close to English. But if you ever go to Sweden, I guarantee you your Swedish is useless. Like, I've been to Sweden, like, 3 times. I've been to Norway more times than I care to remember right now. And I've been to Denmark a couple of times. In all 3 of those countries, also I'd say the Netherlands, you're never going to need, like, if you had language proficiency, it'd be like learning German to go speak to your grandmother who's slightly German, or like learning Spanish because you've got a friend whose family is Mexican and therefore you're gonna speak their second language of them. It's like, you know, you can do it. They might appreciate it, but it's definitely not necessary. And I guess that's one of the, again, a lot of people say this is like a tragedy, like, oh yeah, I hate that language is slowly fading away. I wish people kept speaking in non-mutually intelligible languages. Like, I've seen so many people, because I mentioned in like a second channel video, I think the world would be a much better place if we could all communicate with each other all the time. Like, I don't mind what language it is. If everyone spoke French, I would have to pick up French. You know, that's my least favorite language. I would do it. Do you even lift, bro? Says Olimatic. I do not even lift, bro. Like, you know, like a lot of people learn Japanese just to watch anime because otherwise they get inaccurate, you know, like fandubs. Like, they can't communicate in English with this TV, this Japanese animated show. What's the term for that? I think it's an anime, right? So people really like their animes, and you know, they need to watch it, so they need to communicate, and so they learn some actual Japanese just so they can watch it with the correct thing. Like, everyone knows, like, is it nanny? Is some Japanese? Everyone knows, like, hi, ohio, dumb stuff like that. Like, and a lot of people say, like, oh no, but like culture is inherently tied into language, which is, like, I guess true to some extent. You lose a little bit of history when you lose language, because that's a thing. But here's the thing: no language is the same throughout history anyway. Have you ever read one of Shakespeare's plays? You've probably read a modernized version, but if you read one from, like, this is a 1500s playwright, by the way. He was writing things to be understood 500 years ago, and the English is so different. I learned recently the word dog used to be dogge, like D-O-G-G-E. That's how we used to say dog. We shortened it to dog because dogge is too much effort, of course. But, like, the fact is we adapt and change language all the time because its primary purpose is not to stay set in place unless it's Latin or something. Latin does stay set in place, which is very interesting. But like, we learn language specifically because it changes. So I think if you want to have a language for culture, whatever, I always thought, like, you know, let's have a language that, like, makes sense for everyone. I have an idea to sell language on the Minecraft marketplace. There's Nicholas Jr. Valatit. There's a rule, you know, there's a lot of rules that I'm not sure if they're, like, public or not. But I will say, I tried to, one of my favorite ideas was communist mashup pack, right? I figured, you know what, I want to make a whole communist mashup pack, sell it on the and then apparently it's too political for the, there's like a rule against maybe stuff like that. Again, I'm gonna work out the preciseness of it. For every tree you cut down, you should donate to Team Trees. What if we did the reverse? For every tree I chop down, we'll take away a tree from Team Trees. I'll raid their coffers. Isn't there something, like, particularly evil about, like, robbing a charity? Like, it's hard to do. I guess you can PayPal charge back if you want to rob a charity. But, isn't it kind of crazy that, like, robbing a person, you can be like, that person didn't need it. But, like, a charity, it's like, oh, that was, like, an organization set up to do it. I want to hear your opinions on something, chat, because my brother used to work for a call center, and I've not, because I live in a place where there's, like, jobs, like, going around in, like, places, but there's always, like, some scam job. Like, you can be a salesperson for, like, glass. I don't know who needs glass and why salespeople exist for it, but you can be a glass salesperson. And one of the ones that everyone always gets tied into is being a call center worker. And because there are so many, and, you know, like, call center worker is one of those careers that everyone hates and everyone gets out of. So they have to always hire a lot of people. Which, for the record, if there's ever a job that's always hiring, despite the fact that it, like, you know, doesn't have a huge number of people, think about why they're always hiring. That's, like, tip number one. Obviously, if you need it regardless, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, you know what? If you have the option, you could also not go through the pain. Yo, you need glass. Why I need glass? All right, because the salesperson. I forgot about it already. See, it's so absurd. When you said you need glass, like a glass salesman, I was like, that's dumb. Why would I need glass, Alcazar? I just don't get it. I literally don't get it. We should all speak Esperanto, then everyone's culture is destroyed equally. If that's what it takes, like, if we could have, like, some global directive to do that. That would be cool. I would be hyped. Fast food chains always hire a lot of people. Right, it's called, I believe the actual term is staff turnover. So when there are jobs that people quit very often, and that's fine. Like, I kind of like that those exist because it means you can always get a job. It's better to have a bad job than to not have a job. Sometimes, you feel me, right? Like, it's better to have a way to make money that you dislike than to have, and then you can jump from that to something else while you know, survive as a human being, than to go for something else. Maybe it's just me who thinks that. Maybe you disagree. You tell me, internet friendos. But yeah, anyway, so there's a call center, and so they work on behalf of charities, because charities. Again, this is one of the things that really soured me on charity, because I know a lot of people who have worked there, and they've all said the same script was given to them. Charities want to preserve their images as being good guys who do good things. But they also know that they're just commercial businesses, you know? Like, if a charity, a non-profit, is a business that has to make money. But the only way they can make money, besides selling little merch items sometimes, is by asking people for donations. Again, I don't like it because they're in the business of selling. They give you guilt for free, and then they sell you the solution. You know how we always talk about, like, oh yeah, there's going to be people like who will give drugs to your children? Because that's what happens. Also, my first tip went through before the stream was live. Oh well, I guess I'll choose to pay extra taxes for channel baby. Welcome to the States, and yes, I'm Welsh. I'm going to be in the States in 2 weeks. I'm not going to be able to stream for those 2 weeks. It's going to be real sad. Like, starting next Monday, we're gonna be out streams. It's going to be a whole tragedy. But thank you, Scotty Nikoski. And also...
my first tip went through before the stream was live. Oh well, guess I'll just choose to pay extra taxes. Third channel, baby. Welcome to the States, and yes, I'm Welsh.
Hey, I'm glad you're well. You know, I was waiting with bated breath to see if you were in fact Welsh or not. I'm glad you are. Thank you very much, Scotty Nikoski. You know, that I'm Welsh thing confuses more and more people the longer we stream for. And I kind of like it that way. I'll be honest with you. There's a part of me that's like, yeah, I love this confusion. Keep it going, confusion. I made just go back from picking up my dog Cisco from getting his teeth clean. I'm ready to toy cat and chill. And then a little star. First of all, good job in getting that star in your comment. Very pleased with you. Second of all, hope you're doing well today, Mukbella. If you're not doing well today, then you know what? I hope that you're doing well tomorrow. Yeah, there we go. Nailed it. At shops, I usually do the dollar donations, because why not? Yeah, right, like it's always, like, the whole point, again, I don't mind it, like, it's not, it's like, I get, it does good for the world, so I'm not against it, but, like, a charity looks like that. And so one of the things they do is, if they get a significant sum of money from you, like, if you're like, okay, I'm going to give a big amount of money to charity, they will, they'll realize you're someone who can give a lot of money to charity. Like, if you think about it, no matter how much you want to give money to charity, you personally watching this stream probably can't give 10 grand to charity. If you can, oh man, your boy Toy Cat could really do with, I don't know, $1,000 in gambling money. You know, $10,000 in gambling money. Reach for the scars, right? Skies, not scars. Don't reach for your scars. Keep those scars. I mean, do what you want with your stars, I guess. Also, Seth says, oh wait, it hasn't showed up yet. One sec. I'll wait. I'm gonna get better at reading these super chats as they're on screen. It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be great. Hi Toy Cat, hope you're doing well. I hope I'm doing well too. I've been having an interesting little day. Like I've been working on the most arbitrary. Again, I hope this is, you know, this is probably public, but basically because I used something to make my map better, I breached some rule that I have to do some extra work, or I can remove the previous work I did, and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I'm adding something new. And basically, so I've been working on the marketplace map a lot recently. It's been kind of fun. Yeah, I've been just grinding the video train, always. Also, thank you, Ollymatic. You never said goodnight to us. Sad face. You're not. Just for you, Ollymatic. Good night to us. Sad face. If you're not Welsh, you're wrong. But anyway, what I was trying to say. So if you give a lot of money to charity, you are seen as like a potential cash cow. Because if you are someone who can give $10,000 to charity, that means you had at least $10,000 spent. And most people don't give all of their savings to charity, right? Most people give a portion of it. So they know that they can follow you up, get some more money, but they want to be seen as good businesses. So what they do is they hire third-party companies. They give them, this is the most messed up bit. They give them a percentage of the proceeds they get. So, like a company will call you up and be like, "Oh, I see you donated to cancer research."
As your internet mom, I am worried about you traveling to the U.S. Here is your allowance.
Hey, thank you, Pookie Helms. I'm a little worried about it, but then this. This is like learning that, you know, something's bad, but don't worry, it's worse elsewhere. I'm living in a place in the UK that's like kind of I like scary anyway, I guess I would say. Like the total number of cases where I'm living in the UK and the total number of cases like per 100,000 people isn't massive. Like I think it's very comparable, which is maybe a damning indicator for how locally bad it is, perhaps. But yeah, I feel relatively safe just knowing that, like, you're not, as long as Las Vegas improves before, you know, London does, we're in a good place. Also, how can you do this? You do realize there's a green belt. Hey, that's a London joke. Maybe it's an everywhere joke, but in London there's like a green belt around the city, stops you from doing things. You're not. That's probably a London joke. How can you also pro tip with tax evasion? You can donate even more, says Gerudo. If you just evade your taxes, you can give more money. How great! Anyway, so staying on track. I want to get on track because I'm staying on the tracks. So yeah, basically, there's this third-party company. They'll call you up, be like, "We noticed you gave £10,000 to we noticed you gave £10,000 to X charity here. Would you like to give some more?" And like they'll like ask for your story, because you know the people say no most of the time, right? No one's like, "Oh, yeah, I was just waiting to. Thank you for calling me." So I'll say no most of the time, and they'll be like, "Okay, we're just doing a survey. Why did you donate to the charity? Like, what did it mean to you?" And they'll tell like a big story about how one of their family members died, and it's in the script. This is the most messed up thing, to be like, "Oh, well, you can stop other people dying from this, that." Again, they've got a whole script in front of them. And then if they say like, "Oh, sorry, I just really can't afford," it's like there's lines to push it. You're never allowed to say no or to hang up. You have to let them hang up first. So you go, "Oh, you really can." Again, you've got to stop cancer, whatever. Like you're targeting people, the kind of people who have already given to charity, and you're trying to force them. You know, again, you don't politely let them out the call. You live and you die, and that's kind of crazy to me. My first Toycat stream. Toycat is yes. Thank you, Life of Liam. Also Moo, thank you. But yeah, so man, I need to get this tree. You know, we'll just fly into it later. That's how we deal with all of our problems. I'm pretty sure it was last August when I started watching streams, so that's kind of cute. Happy 1-year anniversary, Alcazol. That is a very special day for both of us together right here. I live in Vegas. We should avoid each other at all costs, says Chips on a Shelf. Don't worry, we will avoid each other at all costs. Yeah, if you like, I know I'm really curious about my living in America experience. Be vigilant and precautious. Take care of you. The casinos might be sketchy COVID-wise. Oh my! Again, everyone hears I'm in Vegas and they're like, "So you go to the casino every day?" And I guess that's what Vegas is famous for. And so I guess I might as well go to the casino every day. You know, if people are going to assume I'm there anyway, let's do it. But no, it's mostly just a very fun city in my opinion. Maybe I'll regret it. It's possible. But every time I'm there, I'm like, this is a cool place. I don't know why. I just have I get strong vibes. And maybe this is like a terrible idea, but I always want to live in places that I dream of living in. Because that way, if I hate it, I'm like, oh, now I won't dream of living for Vegas the rest of my life. It's like, who's an attractive celebrity that everyone's like, oh, yeah, she's so cute. It's like, yeah, but she's had a lifetime of people telling her that she's cute. And she know you're you. You know, why would, okay, I don't know, attractive celebrity. The one from House, Jennifer Lawrence. No, naming that one wrong. But like, oh yeah, it's like, oh yeah, she's dating you. You know, her, you see the difference there? You know what? You have to pull the weight in to make that work. You know what? Do you really want that? You probably don't. But you don't know that until you've done it. So, you know, I'm just saying, if you dated Jennifer Lawrence, I think that's who she is. I really don't know for sure. Then maybe, is it Jennifer Munez maybe, or something like that? It's a funny last name. I think she's like Hispanic, so maybe I'm getting it wrong. J-Law do be cute. J-Law is incredibly cute. And I feel like if you dated her, you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, this is nice. I am glad that I did. But, you know, now I'm happy to not, you know? Maybe. Am I wrong about this? I've never dated Jennifer Lawrence, so I cannot confirm. Maybe she's the most delightful person in real life too. And she'd be like the sweetest, most caring partner in the world. I like to believe that. That's canon now. That's what happens. People say I look like Jennifer Lawrence. Oh yes, it's Cassie Kaiser. You know what? See? That's what you do. Find yourself a knockoff Jennifer Lawrence, like Cassie over here, and then you get the best of both worlds. I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm probably saying something I shouldn't, right? It's my birthday today. Give me validation, says Kyla. Unhappy birthday, you slut. I hope your day gets measurably worse. Is that what I do? Honestly, that's one of those jokes, like the I'm Welsh thing, where like people are just gonna hear it and be like, "Why are you being so mean to a cat? That's your stream mod. Why are you saying unhappy birthday?" But heck yeah, Minecraft and chill. You know, that's all I want to do in my life. The I'm Welsh joke started during Streamless 2019. I kind of want to do Streamless again this year because I'm probably gonna be streaming less while I'm in the United of the States. Because like honestly, every time I've been in a foreign country, like I have like business grade internet here, and it still drops once a month or something. Like being in America, it's gonna drop even more, right? But yeah, happy when Andrew tweeted that my life purpose was fulfilled. Also, what is streams? Baby, don't hurt me no more is the answer to that. But yeah, I partly like. I think for some people, dreams are really good. Like, unattainable dreams are so wonderful because you always have this, like, perfect vision. But for me, I'd rather ruin every unattainable... Like, I want my life to be my dream. And the best way to make... You know, like, let's say right now I think London is the second best city to live in. Well, by living in, you know, the first favorite city. Because, again, I really do. Every time I visit Vegas, I'm like, this is a nice place. I like that everything's just here. It's like the one... Honestly, what it is, it's like America, but it's walkable. And not even like that walkable. It's just vaguely walkable. And it's like, this is nice. I can walk places, and it's not hell. That's really only the Strip and downtown. It's not even like a fully walkable city. It's actually a horrifically unwalkable city outside of those two places. But by living there, I get it out, and I'm like, don't want to do this anymore. It's great. So I have good internet at my house in America, says Daniel Gerald. No, the thing about live streaming is am I going to explain internet policies to people? Or should I finish my thing about like, oh yeah, so they would peer pressure old people into giving more money to charity. But because they weren't giving money to charity, they'll give money to this organization. Only half off, it was probably like a different percent, like 75-25. But this call center made their money by calling up old people who had given to charity, targeting them, and not letting them go till they gave more money to charity. Half that money, by the way, went to them. They were a for-profit business, so they just made bank off charities. It didn't, because again, the thing is, there's enough charities that eventually one of them will give their calling list to this company, because the charity makes money. Why does the charity not care if they're not looking into it? And it's, you know, again, it's a really tragic thing. And I've always thought this is one of the modern tragedies. There is a tax that you pay for being kind. A tax on like caring, I guess. Like, if you think about it, if you actually ever filled out taxes in your life, what happens is the government sends you a piece of paper being like, how much did you make this year? And you go, this is how much I made this year. They say, if you made that much this year, you'll pay this much in tax. And you go, oh, actually, I changed my mind. I made a different amount this year. And they go, are you sure? And you go, yeah. And then they charge you a different amount of tax. You know, obviously, like... Well, the reason you don't lie on your taxes is because audits exist. And it's like a 1 in 20 chance of being audited. And, but like, I think it's, and I think in reality, they target those audits based on specific sectors, like the sectors most likely to lie. So you might be in an even lower risk category. Therefore, you pay taxes, you know, like, and even if you don't want to pay, even if you like feel like that's like a crime and you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. We all know that there's tax avoidance schemes where, again, tax evasion, illegal. You can't just lie about your taxes, but you can avoid your taxes because there's a bit, you know, the government sets up 1 trillion loopholes about where your money can come from, etc., etc. And they're deliberately set up so that it's effort to go through. But if you're willing to, You know, if you want to pay the government less, you can. That's how taxes basically work. And therefore, it's a tax on conscience, right? It's by paying more tax, by choosing not to use these schemes that you have every right to use. They are legal. You know, you're taxing that. And I feel like we have so many examples of this. Again, the charity thing. If you give money to charity, they will never stop bugging you. If you give money to university, this blows my mind. This is mostly American, but it happens in the UK too. If you pay the university a bunch of money, 5 digits, sometimes 6 digits, to use their services. They force you to pay this money. You pay for their service, and then when you're done, if you have a well-paying job, even if you don't, they'll hit you up and be like, hey, so you know how much you loved your time here? You know, we could really do with some money. And they like beg you for money forever. And they have your details because you went to school there, and that's how that works. It's like, you because I gave you money once, you assume like, and you know, another example. So when we say homeless, we really mean people on the street, right? There is a class of homeless people. If you do not have a home, that is a tragedy. That is a thing, you know, that needs to be fixed. But there's also a class of people, some of whom have homes, some of whom do not, who are, let's call them street people. And some street people, you know, are really, really, you know, like unlucky people. But there are some street people who are very interesting. And so these street people, their plan, their strategy is like, yeah, ask for some money and then use that to get the things that maybe they want, you know? Anyway, so these particular street people will, if you, this I've noticed this because I have a friend who like, there's this one guy who's been in my town for like years. Like he's been, like I walk past the same guy. He just says hello as I walk past him. You know, he's nice in that way. I kind of like that. But I had a friend who like gave money once, and every single time, like he would get harassed for money again. Like, hey, you got any? Really need it for this? And it's like, if you by being nice and doing something once, you're always, because the worst bit about like no one likes being approached and asked for things that they don't want to give, right? No one's ever like, you know what? I've got 10 spare dollars in my wallet. Can't wait to find the first person who wants it. Because we all know that if like, you know, the best way to help out is to get, you know, donate to charities that are actually helping out, because those charities will not spend the money on the very things that make those problems worse. Like by giving, in some cases, only in some cases, in some cases you're gonna really do a great job and it's wonderful, and please believe that you're doing that. But in the majority of cases, it's been, again, at least in the UK, I can't comment on your country and your situation. In the UK, we've done the research, and it's like, yeah, in a lot of cases you're actively hurting. You might be responsible for killing someone if you give someone, you know, money in that way, who is in that situation. Anyway, so also, thank you, Life of Liam. Thank you, Japanese characters. How do you feel about graffiti? Hi. Also, first look at, where are you going to the USA? I'm going to the great state of Nevada. Does anyone call it the great state of Nevada? What is Nevada's state? Nevada state name. Name origin? No. What do they call, like, nickname? Nickname. Nevada is the Sagebrush state, or the Battleborn state. That's lame. They should get a cooler nickname. But I'm heading to the Battleborn state. Well, I've got a list here. Nevada is the Silver State. Ooh, I like that one. I pronounce it Nevada. Yeah, Americans really get on my tail for saying Nevada. But that's why I either say Nevada or Nevada. I'm from Nevada. I really like riding my Bedrock over there. I do the Silver State. I love living in the Silver State because I make new friends but keep the old. Nevada is silver and California is gold. I am very good at my accents, and do not try and tell me otherwise, right? What about the Garden State? You know, there's a fun Minecraft joke in making all 50 states in Minecraft based on their stereotypes. Look at Maryland, says Scotty Nikoski. Have you ever seen Maryland's flag? It makes you question a lot of things about your life. It's called the War-Torn State because it was founded during the Civil War. So spoiler for an upcoming second channel video. But the crazy thing about Nevada's forming is they formed it because Lincoln just wanted more electoral votes. So even though it had like 10,000 people living there, which is smaller than like any city or whatever now, they're just like, we'll make it a state, and then they'll vote for me because we made it a state. And he was right, I guess. Anyway, so as I was saying, yeah, so there's like when you are harassed by the same person because you were nice to someone before, and now they see the weakness that you are nice. This is the worst thing. In a lot of countries, again, I am only talking to my experience and that of those around me. In lots of countries, there are people who will harass you non-stop. If you show a moment of I'm not sure, I might consider that. They'll keep talking to you. Like, some people will follow you down the street, but like, yeah, you need to buy this, you need to buy this, and they just make you feel awkward till you buy a thing. And it's like, oh, yeah, no, not good. Also, thank you, hey Tasha. Do you think RTX is worth $200 more than GTX? I would say if you play a lot of Minecraft, worth is a strong word, but I would do it. But it depends on the... Because the thing is, the value of $200 is different to everyone. Like, the reason people buy different graphics cards, the reason people didn't buy different things, is because the relative value of the graphics card versus everything else in their life is very different. Hey, thank you, Jive. Welcome back to the exclusive, elusive membership club. I hope you enjoy your time here. So, you made me look at Maryland's flag. I think they're only happy when they mess up guys with OCD, says Cornelia. I apologize, Cornelia. But you know, their flag is messy. It's very messy. I hate being nice and empathetic, but I'm also stone cold. I think what it is, I'm gonna be your therapist today, Alcazar. I think, cause I know a lot of people who are exactly the same. Like, they are the kindest people, but they think they are stone cold monsters. They think they are just a total mess who has to be mean to people. If you see yourself, if you know, when you look at the world, you're like, if you think that you should do everything you possibly can, then you always fill that goal. Because unless you spend your whole life, I'd say Mother Teresa, but even Mother Teresa, like, was not a Mother Teresa. Like, there has never been a human in history that can devote their whole life to everyone else. The trick is, devote the best bits or the most things you can to someone else, to help those who are doing it, to make the life, you know, like the trick to being nice is to know when to be nice and to maximize the niceness. Like, you can be nice to someone who is trying to murder you or you like, and honestly, maybe it's the best solution there. But like, working out when to be nice and when not to be is like the hardest skill. Honestly, I mess it up sometimes. Every now and then I'm friendly with someone, and they're like, oh, I wasn't looking for friendly. I was looking for someone to rant at. I'm like, okay, oopsie there, oopsie. Sorry about that one. Or like, you know, whatever else it is. Like, trying to know when to help someone out is a valuable thing. And that's why I'm saying, you know, you're probably a nice person, but you're in so many situations where you're like, I can't do this. I want to do it, but I can't. And I think wanting to do something but not is better than is at least you know, again, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good moral trait. Whereas people who think they're great are people who are in situations so often where they want to do something and can't, which means either they are great and they do everything within their power, or they just don't think very often about doing things for other people. And the best way is to find some balance between wanting to do everything and not being able to, and wanting to do nothing and doing it. You want to find just the right number of things that you can do. Like, I don't know. And that's hard. That's like, it's hard to find the time to be a good person and do all the other things you gotta do in life, right? It's kind of crazy. I consider myself be kind, but I'll never let anyone use me. My kindness is my choice only, says Bob Russia. You know, that's fair. That's nice. I think that's important for me too. I think anytime someone expects niceness from me, no, out of it. Yeah, I hate that. Like, when you assume niceness from someone, you remove the opportunity for them to be nice to you. And I hate that so much. And that's why I hate, like, oh yeah, I just really need to do this. Can I get this? It's like, no, thank you for that. Like, Moo, Jibei is the spooner is, what did I even just read? Like, I think, there's been a study that's done here. I think I read it in, like, Freakonomics or something. But if you know, when homeless people have signs that say, you know, like, oh yeah, if you're gonna do a nice thing today, I hope you consider me. Like, if you just say, please consider this thing, like, oh yeah, this is a thing you could do, I don't expect you to. People are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do the best thing I can today. If you're like, give me money, we'll die if not. It's like, well, no, you know, I'd die if I didn't have money too. That's glad we're on the same page about this one. But and you know, I don't annoy strangers for my money. Yeah, that's how people are thinking in their heads, even if they're not. And then then they feel bad about it too. Like it's a whole train of thought. Like if there's a lot of positive feedback. Anyway, so I can't name the stream deforestation. You know what, deforestation. Everyone's always complaining about it, but you ever think about like maybe those forests had it coming? No one ever thinks that, do they? They're always on the side of the trees. And I just don't like that so much. Is that why you're such a mean Tomcat? Thank you, Michael Rousseau, for saying Tomcat instead of Toy Cat. Yeah, I think being mean to people by default makes them appreciate your niceness so much more. So I think especially when you've got an audience of 1.4 million, where it's like, is it 1.5 million now? I think we hit 1.5. Also, thank you just for KC. Toy Cat is yes. Thank you very much, friend. But we have a situation where if there's 1.5 million subscribers, let's just say 10% are active, just to be simple. Like whatever, it's more, but otherwise you get the whole discussion about like, but Toy Cat, why don't you get 1.5 million views in every video? And it's like, did you watch every video I've ever made? Anyway, so I think when you got a lot of people, it can be really easy to assume, oh yeah, Toy Cat, I just need this one thing from you. The number of people who have said, hey Toy Cat, I need help with like a gum, you know, like I need help with like a sugarcane farm. Can you help me build one? Or like, oh hey Toy Cat, I'm you know, I really need. Someone asked me like, hey, I really need a capture card. Can you send me yours? And it's like, what? How do you assume this is going to go? Like, when you assume not just niceness from a stranger, you assume a level of niceness that no one would be willingly, and you take it for granted, you look like a jerk, right? Or at the very least, you make that person feel bad. And you know, the people like the out, also 15 subs, says Mama. You're right, I've got 15 subscribers. It's like you know how people always say, oh, if every one of my 1.5 million subscribers sent me $1, I'd have $1.5 million. Like that's an amazing example of like a combination effort. Let's take it the other way around. What if all of my 1.5 million subscribers just asked politely for $1? Like, oh yeah, I just need $1, just gonna buy a Coke or something. If every single subscriber asked for that, I could only fulfill that request, that tiny request of just $1, by spending $1.5 million, which is more than my net worth, regardless of what Google tells you. Wait, what does Google say? I think even Google thinks my net worth is 1.3 million, right? 1.4 million. So even if Google was right about how much money I've made in my history, which I haven't even made that much, let alone have that much, I would still not be able to. I would still not be able to give everyone $1. I can't even fulfill that basic request. Wow, what a jerk I am. Because, you know, it works both ways. Alternatively, by the way, you know, that's why I think, like, small acts of kindness that are unexpected. Like, every single tip that I get is kind of unexpected. Like, over the course of a stream, I expect, you know, like, hopefully, you know, I never go into these things expecting people definitely will. But when I get tips from, like, Joseph Casey saying, click out as yes, say yes in chat if yes, it's like, hey, thank you, man. And then I'll respond to the question if there's one. Or, like, if you want to chat about something, we'll do that. Like, it's a fun trade-off. And then, like, you know, if the bigger it is, the more, like, I know that they're friendly. Like, if even like $2 is a lot to give to an internet stranger. But you get the kind of you get the message that, like, it is kind of monumentally powerful to expect. If you expect kindness from someone, you will be disappointed. The number of streamers who have meltdowns because, like, they need to make a certain amount of hours, like, tips are only tips. It's like it's a bonus. People are nice enough to give. If you are, you know, when you do it, you are not doing something the stream, like, you shouldn't be doing something the stream expects from you. You're doing something that is genuinely unexpected. Like, I can't count the number of times where I've been like, whoa, what happened here? Do you ever go back to your survival world somewhere so you can never get lost if something happened to it? Oh yeah, I back it up on the realm, and then I also have a few, like, every, like, 3 months I do another backup, like, manually offline somewhere. There's no good reason it should ever vanish forever. It'd blow my mind if it ever did. And even then, I've got enough backups stored somewhere. I'd lose, like, a month of progress at most. The Streamlabs link is not working. Man, you know what happened there? Do you mean the tip.ib? No, tip.ibxlocat.com works. You know what? You scared me there. I was like, oh no, what if it doesn't work? Side note, by the way, thank you, Scotty Nikoski. You're the biggest tipper of August 2020. Man, it being 2020, that like shocks me every now and then still. I'm like, oh, what happened there? Thank you, hashtag turtle. I showed my... That's very cute that you showed your cat, the toy cat. Thank you very much, hashtag turtle. Like, holy crap, my toy cat plush just came in. Yeah, I'm loving that everyone's getting their toy cat plushes, Kyla. I'm loving it. But no, yeah, thank you. Like, on the internet, I see this so much. Like, this is every month I consider, like, closing, you know, like a thing. Because it's like, there is a giant group of people who think it's, like, funny to be mean. Like, oh yeah, wouldn't it be funny if we got, like, I don't know, toy cat cancer? Wouldn't it be funny if we, like, you know, try to leak toy cat's full infos so he gets, like, you know, doxxed and has some serious, like, you know, genuine life threats. It'd be funny if he, like, wouldn't it be funny if he felt his life was under threat all the time? Haha, what a joke. Because on the internet, like, you know, you can make jokes, whatever. Like, there are a lot of mean people on the internet because being nice is like, oh, that's just what people want you to do, man. No one expects you to you know, burn their house to the ground. No one expects you to mail them anthrax. Haha, it's funny. You know, you know that time something with the towers? Haha, just a prank, man. It's like, well, that's actually not how. Like, I think it takes a long time for a lot of people, especially, like, I find it's young men in particular. There's this category of people that have been told by society, like, you are trash, just over and over again. Like, it's just like, yeah, you suck. Like, and it's like a problem that everyone goes through. Like, you have the ability to be an absolute trash nightmare if you want to be. And it's like, well, if everyone thinks I'm this anyway, why would I not just be it? Because it works the opposite way that way. Also, thank you, Aussie Mama, just checking. Hey, it's working still. Thank you for checking. See, I appreciate that. Aussie Mama, you know, cat, a friend of the stream, gave £2 just to help check a system was working. They gave money to make sure the giving money system was working. Like, that was very nice. That was incredibly kind. It's easy for mean people to hide on the internet, cowards. I used to, you know, a part of me used to think, like, oh yeah, it's just, like, because of anonymity. I think the anonymity is clearly a part of why people are so mean on the internet. But I don't think it's all of it either. I think, you know, lack of repercussions is part of the reason. But that doesn't explain why people want to do it in the first place. Like, even if you... Hey, thank you, Mischievous. Good to see you today. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. But, like, the thing is even if you gave me an anonymity, I wouldn't start being mean to people. So there's clearly, like, there's something that comes out in people, but why is that there in the first place, you know? Just wanted to say hi, says Canyon Lundell. Hello, Canyon Lundell. Your name is very ridiculously, like, Swedish, I want to say. Am I right about that? It sounds very Northern European. But you're donating in dollars, so who knows what's true anymore. But, yeah, being memes, like, it's easy, it's fun. Why wouldn't you, you know? It's the unexpected thing. People hate it, and I think, like, my real thought on this one is people like a reaction. They want people, like, you know, when you're nice to someone and they go, thank you so much, or whatever, and, like, you feel kind of good about it, or whatever. Like, that feeling is, like, a form of interaction. Another form of interaction is, oh my god, this... Knowing that someone is, like, you know, tearing their hair out over you, or whatever else. It's, like, it's not as good, but it's a good substitute. Also, thank you, Mud Rusher. Sorry, false alarm. Do you want to say, I respect you a lot as a human. You have a strong personality. Do you mean, like, it's a strong personality, like, it's a good one? Or do you mean, like, I am strong? I am a strong superhero that has a personality. Out of curiosity, where should I ask questions about your well-being on the marketplace? Is oxymoron. Honestly, I know a lot of people are asking, and I'll just say, like, I will be very clear in public about when it's out. But you can also just follow the @IBX Toy Maps on Twitter. But let me just say right now, I'm imagining it'll be 6 weeks because I'm still waiting on another map to come out, which
Guess
there's
who's
many
back?
months going on this.
Back again.
Guess who's
Toy
back?
Cat Tax.
Back
Tell
again.
some friends.
Toy
Share
Cat
this
Tax.
stream. Share this
Tell
stream.
some friends. Share this stream. What's actually from? Guess who's back? Back again. Guess who's back? Tell a friend. I actually don't know where that originally comes from. Vengeance is a form of victory. We all have winning. Being mean can be wonderful. Right, like it. In a way, I honestly, that's the kind of like meaner side of things. That's the, like, it's the less faith in humanity side, but I sometimes like feel you there too, because I think sometimes people are nice because it means you win. If you can be nice to someone, you have to be above them to like lend them a hand, right? Like most people don't dream of like giving. I know one of the things I love. This is dumb, but I'll just admit I love it, and you can judge me if you want. I love when people want help on like, if it's London's transit, I can give them like perfect point-to-point help. Even in another city that I've just gone to, I'm pretty good at helping people get to where they want to go because like I get public transit. It's like it's one of my inherent like talents. I love when people ask me for like directions somewhere that I know directions to. I'm like, yeah. Or like if they want to get there on a train or something, or even if they want to know the different ways they can get there, I'd be like, you could take a train, or you could do this, and then they know their options. I don't know if you remember me from last stream. I made it too. But do you have any suggestions for what to do in a peaceful world? Thanks. So definitely you need to have a giant bone meal farm. That's like step one. Second thing is you can take advantage of the Nether being very kind of harmless, I would say. That's definitely got to be on the thing. Being a subject matter expert is super fulfilling. Like when someone wants help and they don't know that you're like good at a thing. Because when people ask me Minecraft questions, like, I'm not a Minecraft expert by the way. Like people assume I am because I make Minecraft videos. Like, the thing I'm best at is making Minecraft videos. And even then, am I good at that? Some people would argue no. Am I good at Minecraft streaming? Or am I just rambling at a camera and you're all hanging out? Which, I don't know which it is. We're doing this together. It's fun. If you want lots of bone meal, make a huge fish farm. It's really easy. See, lots of fun ideas. Also, bone meal is only on Java. Oh, I guess you can get bones, which you can turn into bone meal. But, yeah, are you anti-vax, says Robert Blouse. Nah. I feel like I have the personality type that is like very drawn to conspiracy theories because I am very distrustful of authority figures, but I'm so distrustful of like authority figures that every conspiracy has like a famous person in there, like who's I can't think of the most famous guy in the Flat Earth movement. I think his name is like Mark Sargent or something like that. But there's like a few people who are like big. They have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers talking about this thing. It's like when there are people who have a strong like the reason you should distrust authorities is because they have strong vested interests. The USSR lied to its people because you know they need to make things look good. It was easy to lie. You make the best Minecraft videos. Lol says Stealth. You know, it's confirmed. I make the best Minecraft videos. So if you have questions about making good Minecraft YouTube videos, let me know. Except even then, it's like, when people ask me questions about that, it's like, I don't feel like I'm, like, it's not a field I love sharing about, because it's like, here's how I do it, but I don't think it's the best way. Because, you know, when we're talking about expressing yourself, there's no correct answer. Like, it's like, what Minecraft build should I make? Like, I can give suggestions. I can't give the correct, oh, we're in a place we shouldn't be chopping down trees. I can't give the absolute correct, definitive, here's what you should do answer. Because it's going to be very different, right? Can you give me all the wood you farmed to my survival world, please? It's XX Pikachu. See, right, it's a big ask. And the sorts of people who ask it, I'm like, how do you assume that's, you know, like, and obviously you're joking, like, it's fine. But, like, people get questions that level where it's like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Like, one of the most important things about human interaction is making it fun for all participants. Like, you know, like, Jay, for instance, is like, oh yeah, I have a question for Toy Cat. I'd like to know what he thinks. And, you know, here's $5. You know, that's a fun thing. And I'm, like, excited. Like, yeah, I like money. You know, I'm a big fan. He gets me closer to being a thousandaire and then losing that 1,000 in Vegas where I'm going to be. And it's like, well, that's a fun rise and fall, right? You have strong moral values and have integrity and honesty. I respect that a lot. Toy Cat is yes. So the thing about having values, because I think values are really important. Like, it's really easy to like, not value certain things. But a lot of people feel like, oh yeah, the things I value are the easy things around me. But I think the reason it's important to have values that you, like, it's easy to believe in truth when it's easy to tell the truth. It's easy to believe in, you know, helping people out when it's easy to help out. I find it so easy to help people out when they're just like, you know, like, people are just like come up to me asking for help. I find that's so easy. I love that. It's fun. But what's harder, I sometimes see people struggling looking at a map, and I'm like, I want to help. Well, I'm not going to. No, it'd be an awkward conversation. Like, I know I could help someone out, and I'm not going to. There's an example. I'm like, if I clearly, if I wanted to value being helpful, I'd have to be it not when it's easy, but when it's hard. Like being, you know, like I value my, I value being. I want to be honest with people because people are loyal. Like, again, those are the two things I was talking about. Like, I value honesty. I value loyalty. If your loyalty is important because the world is always coming at you. There's something the world always wants to throw at you. And if you're, like, you know, if you're surrounded by people who will ditch you on a dime, it's like, oh, yeah, I like, you know, one of the things I always have in, like, a relationship is, like, if you assume that I have killed your cat and slept with your sister, you know, at least let's have a talk about it. Never have that thing where you're, like, immediately not on my side. Because I think it's really important in any relationship to be like, oh, yeah, I don't... You know, some people say, like, oh, it's super toxic to be around someone that did a certain thing. I see it as, like, no. You... Being with someone thick and thin is, like, important. Like, if you're... Again, it's easy to be with someone during the good times. The bad times are the important bit, though. That's when you need people the most. That's when you need your loyalty. Also, thank you for becoming a member. Joe123. Cute dog in a mask. Also, thank you, Stealth. You said it's a lot of change since the title update days. I think the thing about humbleness, the cool thing about YouTube is YouTube keeps you so humble, because the moment, like every now, like honestly, it's been years since I felt this, but like every now and then when things are kicking off, like I'd say I had a little bit of this last year actually when the communist video went wild. It's like people enjoy, like, you know, like people, you know, it made it to Reddit, and you're like, oh yeah, people know me. I'm like semi-famous in my own little way. And the cool thing about YouTube is knowing that, like, even though, you know, like I've got 1.5 million subscribers, right? I've got a bunch of people who seem to enjoy the videos, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm also only the 13,000 most subscribed channel. There are 12, and it's like, that's the wonderful thing about YouTube. Like, I like that I will never, you know, I don't know if I'd be a great, I don't think I'd do badly with a large term, like a, you know, mega following, but I think I'd be worse at it. I don't think I'd be the perfect person. Like, I handle what we have here so poorly as it is. Like, you know, what you're meant to do is you're meant to give, like, you're meant to pretend you interact with your whole audience. I know I can't do that. I can't interact with every single human being who follows me. So what I instead do is like, oh yeah, if you're vocal and you want to talk, let's have a thing. Let's do some polls. Let's talk about some stuff indirectly, you know? And I think that's much more fun, and again, it seems more close when you're like, hey gang, me and you personally, we're having a conversation. It's like, no, there's 2,100 of you here. This is a one-to-one conversation with 2,100 participants. But I feel like it's better to be, I think it's more important to be honest than it is to be, like, I think success is super important, but I think if you have to tarnish your principles to get somewhere, then you'll regret that, in my opinion. Or maybe you won't. Maybe I've just never been there long enough. But like, there's definitely a level where you think to yourself, like, would I rather have X more dollars, pounds, fame, subscribers, influence, whatever thing you desire most in the world? Or would I rather... Man, we've got so much wood today. That's good. That's good. I like that. Plenty of wood. Let's place down a second box, though, because you know it's not stopping me. The fact that I got all this wood. It's how sad. I thought we were having a meaningful conversation. I'm sorry, Tiffany. This one-on-one conversation, there's been 2,100 bystanders. Bystanders, not bystanders. Thank you, Unfinished Business. Did you know that the federal government owns 79% of the land in Nevada? Hey, thank you, Unfinished Business. See, sometimes when that's an interesting example. So, first of all, I knew it was really high, but I didn't know it was 79%. Because it's crazy, because at that point, the state is a state, but it's functionally more federal than it is state, right? Like, it's... Oh, I lost some wood. Do you see that vanish in front of me? Like, the state of Nevada belongs more to the other 49 states than it does to Nevada. Like, if you think about it, which is wild when you really... Anyway, which, you know, ownership of land isn't the biggest, most important factor. But, I'm glad you're streaming. My granddad's funeral today, and I need a distraction. I guess you're kind of yes. Hey, thank you, Laura Shoesmith. But, yeah, I was saying, like, I think, I don't know, like, one of the things is, a lot of people keep suggesting, so I can't do another building the road live stream. You know how I built a road, and every donation, we made it 10 blocks longer, and we got 700 donations that live stream, or tips, as they're called. I got a donation for the title. Again, I don't mind being honest with you about that. Everyone, like, a lot of people are saying do it again, but I am on the total side of, like, I want to do it when it's fun. I want to, like, have a good opportunity and have a good excuse for the, you know, like, the money on the other end. Like, any stream, I appreciate tips, because it's always, like, fully consensual. You're getting just your, you know, again, it's like a voluntary relationship. If you like the stream, support it, give some more. But I feel like the whole, like, here is a direct benefit you get. That's something I always want to reserve, you know, like, Bryce Barnett. Did you know mathematically it's more efficient to use wooden half slabs than burning charcoal? One wood is 8 slabs. Is that true? No, one would be, yeah, 8 slabs, which smelt 1.5 each. 12 smelts per wood. Charcoal is 8. Oh. Wait a minute. You might be right. I'm not using the charcoal to smelt things, for the record. But that's, I guess I never realized that. Huh. That video is brought to you by Mr. Loudermilk. The crazy thing is, when the Let's Play world goes up for download, you'll be able to see, like, all those signs. So, like, it'll actually be, like, a cool, like, little throwback, I guess. My brain is broken. Why is your brain broken? Alina Khan. You know, you're always Alina Khan. I've decided that's just how you is. Yeah, I feel like one of the most important things is that, man, yeah, that fact really sticking in my head, right? Like, did you know you should use slabs instead of charcoal? Oh, so yeah, the Let's Play world, it's gonna have download in like 6-ish weeks. I'm looking forward to it. Like, I think we're good now. I generally, we got the world size to 400 megabytes. We deleted a bunch of stuff. It's just now we're waiting for again, I'm really mad at the issue. It's such an arbitrary thing. Like, if I made Extreme Skyblock today, it would be fine. I made 1024 by 1024 ultra hard lava super flat like challenges and like, you know, it's like a complete the monument thing. And, you know, Minecraft are like, oh, well, actually, because you used, you know, a desert temple here, you have to make a 300 by 300 structure, which is huge, by the way. Have you ever tried to make a 300 by 300 structure in Minecraft? It is huge. And so, yeah, I'm going for a whole thing. So, yeah, it's gonna be out in like 6 weeks, I guess now. I want to say it'll be out in 4. That's my optimistic timer. Because there's, if I give it to them today, we can hopefully get it out in 4. How's it going? So, Cat from your northern mate says PGHE Wrexham. It's going well, PGHE Wrexham. Honestly, I didn't know you were my northern mate, but I hope today we can start a new north-south friendship that shows exactly why things are good. I've seen a lot of things in my time, and I know you've been through a lot, but I just wanted to tell you, thank you for doing what you're doing. You're very intelligent. That's refreshing in this world, says Bo M. I think it's kind of interesting that there's some people say that the intelligence thing, and I kind of value that. I can never like directly say like, oh yeah, I like that I think that too, because I always do like people who are intelligent thinkers as well. But you know, as soon as you like call yourself something, you get a whole new thing. But thank you, Boam. I know it's just a little thing in the chat, but I'm glad you like the videos. I honestly the latest Let's Play, or the one before the latest one, it was kind of hard to do. I was like, man, this is a whole story. It's like hard to get out there, but like, you know, hopefully hopefully it helps someone. You know, like hopefully this whole story is useful. Like it gets. I was hoping that would like get someone through something, because the stories people always tell you are motivational, but I don't think motivational is the truth. Motivational is better than the truth sometimes. Like if I tell you right now, did you know you will be a billionaire someday? Or let's just say millionaire. You're not going to be a billionaire. I'm sorry, chat. Then thinking that it's going to happen one day can be really powerful, but it's also really painful sometimes. Like a lot of people, I can't count the number of times that, like, I thought it was just my mother that said this, but so many people are like, oh yeah, when I win the lottery, this. And I thought like at first, like, oh, it's a jovial joke. But like, the big plan was like, oh yeah, I will be rich at some point. I don't know where or how. And it's like, oh, a lot of people, sometimes it's the lottery that's the thing. But like, when you give the chance to certain people of winning a lot of money, it's like, oh, well, that's my plan. Just have the stuff. And it's like, no, you need to be like realistic. If you want to have $1 million, that means you need to make, you know, what is it, like 10,000 a year for 100 years, or put in 12,000 a year for 20 years of compound interest, 22 years or something. In the stock market, you have $1 million. There you go. But like, you need to have a plan to do either one of those things, because $12,000 a year is still a lot of money. How are you going to get that much and save it? You know. But those are questions like confronting things with hard questions is how you grow, whereas motivation makes you feel better, which is important in the moment. Like, it can be really, really simple to say like, oh yeah, the truth is important. This is important. But some people just
yes is toy cat. Toy cat is yes. 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 Yes is toy cat. Toy cat is yes.
Oh, it stopped. Thank you, People's 8. You're not. Don't know what to take from that, but I think you think I am yes. Sick beat. How much will your Let's Play cost, says Cool Con MC. The plan is right now, again, so can't say the words I was about to say, but I can't release it for free, so the plan is like, release it for, you know, a couple dollars, like 2 point something, like $2.99 or something like that. That's the plan we're looking at right now. I'll let you know if it changes. Like, I definitely want to see how much people, like, because I do think a lot of people see it as, like, I don't know, a form of support that also allows you to do a thing. And I'm excited for, like, to see, like, what number that is on some level. Because, one of the things I'm trying to do more and more with this year of YouTube is, like, to diversify like, I sometimes wonder, because some people say this sometimes, like, oh, Toy Cat, you can't still like Minecraft now, and I'm like, I do, but, like, this magic moment that people talk about, where, like, I just woke up one day and hated Minecraft, it's like, what if that happened? So I'm always like, okay, we're gonna have, like, backup plans in places, which I guess making Minecraft maps isn't a good backup, like, you know, that's why I want to, like, occasionally dive into more games. I think we should do that this week, actually. Let's tomorrow dive into some different games. But, thank you, you'd be a 113 in cow years. Am I the only one who also can't wait for the map, says Fi-Fi? Hey, thank you. That's cheaper than the mansion map. Come on, you deserve more than that. Right, I'm gonna be very, very cautious with pricing, I think. I don't want to, like, over-gouge people, because I want it to be like, oh yeah, that's cheaper than other things. That's my whole goal, because I want people to feel like they get good value. Value is important to me, and if people like where we're at and, like, they're willing to pay more, then we can work from there. If they're like, oh, this is awful, we can make smaller maps and charge that. You know, like, it's all things we have to work out, you know. When are you going to Las Vegas, Toy Cat? In 2020, at some point, I shall be in Las Vegas. No, so right now, there's technically a chance I don't get into the United States of America, because the rules are really interesting about being a British person going to America. I read about some more today, and it's like, I might have to self-isolate for 14 days, whatever that means. What does might have to self-isolate for 14 days mean? So yeah, I'm very curious. Also, thank you, Portico Glitch. Thoughts on crypto? Your channel is Brave verified. I'm on Brave, yeah. So I like the idea of crypto as a hedge. I know a lot of people are big fans of it as a, like, I think the idea where crypto replaces currency is a world that exists. It's a potentially good world. Also, they have more cases than we do. That's what makes me so mad about the fact that America still has Europeans banned. Like, the UK in particular, like, we have 1/100th or something like that, the daily cases that America has, and they're like, but the real scary thing is Europeans. It's like, but we're meant to be the oldest and most trusted friends. I thought we loved each other. And America's like, no, we just pretend to love you because it's convenient. And it's like, oh, okay, I see how it is. Self-isolation means you stay home and stream for 2 weeks, says Cassie Kaiser. But that's the thing, I don't know if the internet's good enough to stream. Because you don't know if internet's good enough to stream until you use it. Because even if it's really, really good internet... Oh, let's explain why you can't stream anywhere. Because so many times I've brought my stream setup and been like, I'll stream from there. And so many times it has failed me. Because, hey, thank you, Egg. Thank you for the $5. You know, where are these monsters that they're talking about? You know, that's a fun message. But yeah, thank you very much, my egg friend. You know, are you that Twitter person? Oh, look at the beacon crossing through the through that. That's so cool. I love this. I don't know why I love this so much, but I really do. This is why you should make blue ice pathways. They look very cool. Look at that. That is just supremely cool. Yeah, I think because it glows on Bedrock, I think that's why it looks so cool at night. Fun fact. But yeah, so, America isn't getting their new cases from Europe. That's why I'm saying Yeetus Deletus. I was just being very sarcastic. Will you review your own map for Store Saturday? Says, Jin. Hey, thank you so much for the 10 New Zealand dollars. You know, New Zealand dollars? Next time, give me New Zealand dollars, please. I will not be reviewing it for Store Saturday, just because, like, whole thing. I might do some form of showcase, or sarcastically review it very bad. I'm definitely thinking one of those two things. I'm definitely torn on which, though. I'm definitely torn on which. Hey, thank you, Mother Russia. The day Toycat wakes up playing Minecraft will be the day he'll no longer be yes. Right, like, it's like, if I've been playing it for 8 years and I haven't had that day, when will I have it? Like, the fact that right now I'm still chopping down trees, excited what I'm going to do with them. Like, I have a really fun idea for what I'm going to do with these trees. It's like, am I hating it yet? Am I there yet, you know? Is there a way to send Toycat a super chat using Brave's BAT? Oh, the thing about those Brave BATs, maybe I shouldn't say this, is cashing them out is, like, really hard, so I still just have, yeah, again, like, I'm going to check what I'm about to publicly declare, because I have a certain number of them, and a BAT is currently worth, a BAT is worth 28 cents, and I've got, okay, I've got a few $100s in them. But yeah, I like crypto. I like the idea of crypto a lot. I think Brave is a cool idea if it ever takes off. These are things I like, but I don't think are super viable. Like, I want them to be viable, but I think they're realistically not, you know? There's a lot of ideas I really love, but I just don't think work. And it's so sad because you almost have to, like, fighting it, like, okay. In this world, some people are blessed in that they genuinely believe in all the things that they like. Like, oh yeah, my beliefs are 100% achievable. And I'm like, I kind of envious of that. Whereas I'm more of like a pragmatist. Like, I'd rather have a world that's 50% good than a world we tried to make 100% good and got 0% of the way. So like, there's a lot of ideas where it's like, oh, I have to fight against this thing now. Like, I really, really love the idea of cryptocurrency. I would love to have a currency that's not backed by a government's promise, you know, like, if currency in most countries right now is backed by the fact that the government can, like, the government promises not to print too much more. Except even then, like, you know, kind of breaks that promise. But, like, the only thing that keeps a currency stable is the fact that it has been stable. Currency is worth what currency is worth because people are willing to pay for it. And that's a terrifying fact. Like, if I buy a burger from you for £3, that burger, you know, you might argue it might be worth £1 or £5. But the burger doesn't have zero value unless it's moldy or something like that. Because it's food, it's sustenance, and it's tasty sustenance. I love burgers. Don't you love burgers? I love me some burgers. I want to say that the scary thing about you give me a new appreciation from currency because of your videos, says Just C. Hey, I'm glad you appreciate currency, if only because you watched a few good Toy Cat videos. But the scary thing about currency is it's worth, you know, $5 is worth $5. What is $5 worth? I don't really know. Underestimating the five guys yet. So one of the things I would love is if currency had real value. It's just that every economic model we have exists in a world where currency doesn't have real value anymore. And the world works, even though the world should implode because currency is valueless, we value it enough, and because the government accepts it as taxes, and they're the biggest source of things, that it kind of works. It's the modern financial system is very terrifying, but it works. Whereas the alternative financial system, I think it's Austrian economics. It makes way more sense on paper, but it hasn't worked in practice. And didn't, like the last time it worked in practice was 70 years ago. And by worked, I mean it worked so poorly that we had to come off the standard. And so yeah, I would love for a crypto-based world. I would love for a world where all currency had inherent value, but I don't think that's a thing. We can get to too soon. Also, thank you, Jake. Just started watching Update Adventures series from episode 1. You're exactly the same minus a few bad words. Hashtag cancel toycat. Hashtag just JK. It's sad. I've been really considering, like, one of the things that smart online influencers do is they private all their stuff from before. I love that you can see me grow as a person through the last 10-ish years. It's like 11 years. And more we see people be like, oh, someone did something 20 years ago. Basically a terrible human being. There are things that are never excusable. It's like, but you should never be on the hook for like, I think when we look at past growth, we can be like, oh, that person grew. But we never see it that way. We're like, this person's the worst. Because we love to find reasons to hate people. And we look for them. We find reasons to spite them. And it's one of the most, like, toxic things we do as humanity, in my opinion. Corrupting old stuff is kind of sad. See, I'm not doing it. I'm going to try and hold out for as long as I can. But every week, we see, like, more and more people jump aboard the train. And it's like, man, this only hurts me. This only hurts me. And it's a scary little thing. Imagine being cast on an island with 1 million USD, but no boat. Yeah, right. That's a good example. Like, admittedly, to be fair, if you're on an island with $1 million worth of gold and no boat, what is that? Like 30 kilograms of gold? Like 30 kilograms of gold isn't going to help you either. So like, admittedly, gold isn't the greatest thing either. But if you had $1 million worth of cow, so like, what is that, 100 cows or something? That's pretty good. Oh, I had a teacher once who was like a farmer. Like, she clearly came from a farm. She was, like, really nice. She, like, had all these folksy stories about how much something of beef sold for. And I was like, huh, that's a thing that exists. That was the moment I realized there was, like, a category of, like, farm people. And they, like, had farm facts that are different to real facts. I really like that I can see how you've grown up either watching the first 20 episodes, then not as entertaining as the new ones. Hey, thank you, MJ. Wait, no, thank you, MJ. No, that's fine. I already hate those oak trees that grow really huge. They're so hard to cut down. I agree. Hello there. Also, hashtag Team Trees. Yeah, I agree. I'm glad. I sometimes worry about what our plan is for the planet that doesn't involve, like, wrecking our way of life. And I feel like trees is, like, one of the easiest options. They must be so easy that it's probably not going to work. But, like, yeah, I believe in planting trees. I like the idea a lot. It's like, as yes, I love watching you, says Kaylee Waters. Hey, Kaylee Waters, thank you very much for the I was going to say $4.99. $5. Put the extra penny on there. I appreciate that a lot, Kaylee. See, you could have done nothing today. You would have enjoyed the stream regardless if I said this. But now I say, hey, Kaylee Waters, how are you doing? You're doing good. That's nice. When you have a teacher who tries to flunk you, says Panda Time Gaming. Man, it's funny, like, because that's the thing. Everyone's had that at some point, right? A teacher that hated them. It's funny because they're the sorts of human beings. Like, that's the first explanation we all have. That some human beings, if you give them power, will seek to abuse that power. And it's like, if you give them the most minor power to affect children's life, literally teenagers, like, which are not really children, but sure. Some teachers will immediately use that I had a teacher who tried really hard to be cool with the cool kids, so he'd always get them off detentions. It's like, you have the power to help, do whatever you want, and you're trying to be, you know, you're trying to be one of the cool kids. It's like, oh, this is cringe. I am 14 and this is cringe. But like, yeah, the fact that people can be corrupted with power so minor makes you think like, oh, should we be able to trust someone this strong? Also, thank you, Egg. Currently watching with my cat. Amazing. I'm glad you're liking the stream, Egg. What a fun name. But like, one of the things I think you should always think about, because people love, you know, in America, there's gonna be a huge debate that's gonna spill onto the internet. I'm not American. Actually, I'm gonna be in America for the election this year. That's gonna be fun. But like, so America has this big debate every 4-ish years about something about a president. You know, I don't understand it fully. I think they hold an election. I think someone gets to be a president, and they're always like, oh yeah, so this guy I hate did this awful thing with the presidency, and the only way to fix it is this guy that I love. Yeah, he's gonna undo those bad things. Ignoring the fact that most legislation isn't undone. Let's leave that aside. One of the things people forget is like, what if we just didn't have a position, like, if this person, you know, like, let's say that there is a president you don't like. Hypothetically, let's say there's a president that people on the internet don't like very much. Have you guys heard about this? I haven't heard about this. Maybe instead of thinking, wow, we need to get a guy in there that's like not as hateable as this, what if you think about the fact that like, oh, we have someone so powerful that just by being a hateable person, not, you know, just apparently a popular hateable person, like just by being, you know, someone I hate can do that much damage. Maybe no one should have that power, because, you know, eventually, you know, like your favorite people will not always have the power you give them. It's like, okay, if I give you live stream chat the ability right now, you all seem nice people. Why a guy could be a girl, says Katie Plays. I think the Libertarian nominee this year is a girl. A woman, rather. But, you know, so Americans don't like voting for third parties. That's a lesson you learn very, very early on when you speak to them. But yeah, no, my point was just trying to say is, some random guy that makes you think of oranges, perhaps. Yeah, like, maybe someone that looks like this or something. Funny joke. You get it? I'm hilarious. I made a joke, friends. Can everyone clap now? Have you noticed that, by the way? I've always noticed, like, if comedians tell jokes that end with, like, Trump bad, people just clap at it. Whereas when you tell a funny joke, people laugh. It's like it's one of the weird things that you see on the internet. Like, wait, what? Shouldn't jokes be funny? No. Like, do you ever notice that with like late night shows in particular? Like, I see it all the time. Makes me very, very curious of what's going down. Anyway, so leaving that aside, like, the thing we should always be cautious of is the positions of power we give people, not the people who occupy those positions, because people of all types can be corrupted by the right power. Having the right balances or whatever is the more important thing. And I feel like America's the one country that understands this more than any other. Like, every other country, you know, before, like, every other non-republic was like, we'll have a king, and that king's a good guy, and it's fine. And then the next time it's like, oh yeah, his son's a nice guy too. But it's like, but why do they have absolute power? They didn't earn it like the king did, who will not trust. It's like, well, it's easier than the alternative. You set up a system where every person is accountable, every person can be, you know, like, yeah, every person has to do good, or else bad things happen, you know, like, to them. Make people want to do good, and that rather than relying on people doing good because you like the good that they're doing. Hey, thank you, iWarface699. I'm glad you do it. I don't think people are inherently bad, but kindness has to be taught in most cases. I don't think kindness has to be taught. I think if you're kind to someone, I think every human enjoys that. And I think you've gotta learn to do it yourself. I think when people try to teach you to be nice, you're like, nah, I hate this. This is the worst. Full anarchist revolution, says Oxymoron. See, right, there's the most extreme viewpoint you can take there. Like, oh yeah, all authority is inherently corrupt, so therefore no authority is the best answer. And like, I don't hate it all the way. Like, sure, why not? You know what stops you? But then it's like, the problem is that you don't really remove authority by doing that. You just replace it with temporary types. It's like, well, it needs to be official. Like, authority has to be accountable to someone. To who? We can debate. But if you're going to have power, you should have something that stops you abusing that power. Or at least encourages you not to. And you'd already have that. If there's no systems, a system gets set up, you know? Like, is there a country on Earth right now where it's like, oh, there's no government, and they just agree not to have one? Like, humans inherently form groups. It's a big problem we have. Maybe it's a nice thing to do. Like, the cool thing about groups is, like, and our terrified nature of them, is groups allow us to both... groups both allow us to full authoritarian revolution. What if instead of having no government, we had 100% government? You know, I like your flip-flopping on this issue. You're Team Toycat now. I'm going to chop down this one tree, and then I'm going to fly, and then I'm going to call it a day, I reckon. So I hope you'll enjoy this live stream, by the way. If you did, let me know. I've only got a couple live streams left before I go to Vegas, so, like, probably tomorrow. Not tomorrow. So Wednesday, Thursday, and then I'm not sure if after that. So if you want to come see one of my last streams for at least a few weeks, this Thursday and this potentially Wednesday. I don't know. I'm going to find a game to stream on Games Pass or something. It might be fun, but I hope you will enjoy this live stream. It's been a fun time hanging out, talking. I said that wrong. And thank you to the generous people who took the day. Your support is what keeps the streams going. And, you know, apparently because I'm going to Vegas, fuels my gambling addiction, which is a good thing, you know? You are helping me out. Because you know what? The easiest way to know that you don't want a gambling addiction is to get one and to not enjoy it. You should premiere your Let's Plays in the absence of streams, says Duncan Wall. Oh, that's a really cool idea, actually. I like that idea a lot. I might do that. I genuinely might do that, Duncan Smith. Hey, thank you, Jake. I wish there was some system where wealth seekers should be there was no absolute leader. Literally no way it could go wrong. I see zero flaws of that idea. That is 100% success rate as far as I'm concerned. I see no issues. Okay, that could possibly happen or have ever happened with that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. If you did, then smash that bell. I'm just kidding. I'm not one of those YouTubers. Or am I? You never know. Roll those dice. See what happens. But yeah, if you want to see more videos, subscribe. Turn on those notifs, I believe people call them. Because notifications is such a long, hard word. You know what's an easy word? Notifs. Oh yeah. You can feel the time we're saving already, right? Like, ooh, notifs. I am notifly more filled with time after I say notifs. And yeah, if you want to come watch another live stream, you can do that. Or if you don't, you can not. It's your choice, honestly. You're not. If you think about it, everything's your choice. And that's cool. But you know what isn't cool? I don't know. Doing drugs, kids. Stay in school. Wait. Is school open? I don't think it is. Stay out of school, kids. It's such a dumb message. Like, I love, like, it's such a dumb celebrity thing to be. Like, one, you're assuming you got a huge audience of kids. And two, it's like, you know, who's ever listened to someone being like, oh, well, if they say stay in school, I guess I will. Toodles, says Scotty Nikoski. It's toodles to you too, Scotty. And also, toodles to Terracotta Tea. Thank you for coming along. I hope you have a nice day, because I'll see you in the next one. This live stream's going to end without the awkward outro. It's going to be crazy. You're not going to see it coming, but it's going to happen. Okay, goodbye. Thank you, Alina Khan. I missed your explanation for why you're not a person today. You know, next time. Next time. Or maybe never time. Or maybe always time. You know, one of those things. Later, Skater. Thanks for the stream. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.